Hello and welcome to the Darts Show. It's been a very busy calendar month in the world of darts, which means one thing. We've got a very busy show for you. Here's what's on the way. We catch up with some of the stars of the future on the junior circuit.
There's so much more on offer for these children, massive opportunities for them to grow in the sport.
We take a ride with the machine, James Wade.
How much fun is that?
Darts top players return to Gibraltar. And the Betway Premier League concludes with the playoffs in London. As ever, I'm joined by darts reporter Dan Dawson and former Players Champion Paul Nicholson. Welcome to the show, guys. Now let's kickstart things off and talk about the European Tour events. Peter Wright in fine form yet again.
Yeah, and he is dominating. He's beaten MVG in one final, he's beaten Benito van der Pas in another final, despite Benito averaging 110. And then the standout result is beating MVG in a final again, 6-0.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it kind of was. We've seen him lose 6-0 on the Pro Tour in finals. Ian White did it last year, but not on big stages, not in front of crowds like that, and not with so much at stake against one of his main rivals. A phenomenal result.
The third leg in the final was the thing that tells the story for me. Peter Wright's hard work almost culminated into that third leg, because when you hit 161 checkout when Michael van Gerwen is on a double, and with that crowd behind you, I said in commentary that the roof was going to come off if he would hit it. He did hit it, and it felt like the roof did come off. I mean, you've got 4,000 people shouting, "Du bist die Haare schön," you've got beautiful hair. It was just an incredible moment, and Michael's face when he hit it was a picture, trust me.
What is it that's so important about the European Tour events?
Two strands really to it for me. One is the growth of the game in new countries. There's so many of them in Germany. I mean, it's expanded enormously. I mean, even Paul's got loads of fans in Germany. But the other one is giving players stage time and look at the guys who've done well in the Euro Tour, won one, and then look how they've done in the big TV tournaments. Robert Thornton, he won his first one in Dusseldorf, went on and won the Grand Prix. Peter Wright won the first one this year, went on and won the UK Open. And that makes what happened in our most recent weekend in Gibraltar very interesting indeed.
Not just that, but it's people who are getting better on the European circuit are then getting better on the TV tournaments. People like Daryl Gurney, people like Joe Cullen, who we've talked about in previous shows. These guys are getting better and getting used to these big crowds, so they're more dangerous in things like the World Match Play and other things later in the year.
Well, Dan was back on the road again to Gibraltar this time, as Peter Wright was aiming for his 4th European Tour title.
Gibraltar, a real mix of the British and the Mediterranean, and host to the Gibraltar Darts Trophy for a 5th time. No Michael van Gerwen here this year. He's concentrating on the playoffs for the Premier League at the O2.
In the absence of the big names, many sensed an opportunity. Among them, James Wilson, who saw off the challenge of Kim Huybrechts. And Dimitri van den Bergh claimed the result of the night with victory over James Wade.
I know what I'm capable of. I do my best, I give my best, and winning a 6-5 against the number 6 of the world, I'm honestly totally pleased with that. I'm like over the moon.
Going into the final day of the tournament, we know there's going to be a new name on the trophy. The only former winner in the field, James Wade, beaten in round 2 by Dimitri van den Bergh. We almost saw the first 9-darter on the European Tour for 4 years. Stephen Bunting missing double 12 for that, but most of the big guns did make it safely through.
Day 3 opened up with the 3rd round, and Stephen Bunting ended up on the wrong end of a 6-0 scoreline. Rob Cross triumphed over Dave Chisnell.
Tizzy, I think if he would have got his scoring game, might have been a different game. I would have struggled a little bit more, but as it went, it was on my side.
Van den Bergh, the headline grabber from the previous round, proved no match for Michael Smith. Once the dust had settled, Peter Wright faced up to the challenge of Darren Johnson in the opening quarter-final. Michael Smith was tackling this tournament the hard way. Another narrow victory, this time over Rob Cross.
Rob played really well. I think I played well, but not to my best. And Rob didn't play to his best either. But if I turn up, I can win games. I just want to win a game 6-4 instead of 6-5 at the minute.
Mensur Suljovic was overjoyed with his win over Magnus Carris.
Great game, great game.
Completing the semi-final lineup, Daryl Gurney, who comfortably defeated James Wilson. 2 tense semi-finals served up. In the first, it was not to be for Peter Wright, who went out to Michael Smith. Smith involved in yet another 11-leg match.
I'm in the final now, so what the players on the stage are going to know, if they ever wins, if they go 5-0 me, they know there's only one winner at the minute.
Mensur Suljovic doggedly came through against a determined Dowell Gurney. European glory beckons.
Here in the practice room ahead of the final, and it is Michael Smith against Mensur Suljovic. Mensur looking for his second Euro Tour title tonight. Michael Smith already has 3, but he hasn't won any title at all for 18 months, and neither have won any title in 2017.
Michael Smith raced into a 3-leg lead, Suljovic coming back to win 4 legs on the spin. Smith regrouping, the 9th leg proving decisive. Suljovic on the verge of a checkout, his thunder stolen by a brilliant 1-3-2 from Smith. 1 leg to seal victory, and Smith duly obliged.
Forgot how to win. Not for how to win, but I forgot what it felt like to win. I want to cry, I want to shout, but I win. I finally got my first win. It took me 2 years to get it back, but finally I get the win.
Don't rule out him picking up more. We're back in Hamburg on the 9th of June, but Smith says he wants to take this form into the big TV majors for this year.
Well, what a win there for Michael Smith.
Yeah, incredible. Showed real guts right the way through the weekend, and it's something that he was lacking last year. He had a horrible time last year. That's his first title in more than 18 months, and throughout his tough times, I've been firmly of the belief that he will come good again. And I think he's got a win now. He's going to absolutely fly. You've seen him close up. You know the talent he's got.
With Michael, it's just confidence. When his confidence goes down, you see what happens to his results. But now, with his confidence up, he can do anything he wants. And he's got a new shirt. And I believe that when you get a new shirt, you get a bit more confidence, and you look a bit fresher, and he looks great. So when he keeps that going, he's going to be very dangerous.
So a change in the shirt means a change in the position on the rankings, because he's gone up to 3rd now.
Yeah, he's right up there. I think anybody in that sort of top 10 is looking pretty comfortable for Hasselt, the European Championship. Rob Cross is the guy that sticks out for me. 3 Euro Tours he's qualified for, made 3 quarterfinals. Nobody wants to play him. He's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, especially Simon Whitlock, who lost to him in 2 consecutive tournaments. But for me, it's about the guys in the bottom half who are scrapping to get to Hasselt. James Richardson's impressed me this year, making a lot of events, grinding away, and I like that kind of professional because you know, it doesn't come as naturally to them as it does to other guys. But people like James Wilson, who had a return to form in Gibraltar, great to see them back in form and doing well.
Well, we'll come on to our report in just a moment of the Betway Premier League finals night at the O2. But let's just talk about the process to get there, because there's been a few twists and turns along the way, Dan.
Yes, certainly have. Probably the most tightly contested race for the playoffs that we've had in the Premier League. And just the fact that Phil Taylor made it is, you know, it's a surprise to a lot of people, but producing some big results, including one against Michael van Gerwen, just to make the playoffs. I know that you quite fancied Chizzy to do it, didn't you? Because over the last 7 weeks or so, 7 games, you probably thought he was the best player in the league.
Yeah, I think the way he culminated his form over the course of the last 7 weeks, he was the best player in my opinion, and he was finishing like Wade van Niekerk in a 400-metre race. He really was just going so fast, and it was just a shame that he didn't have one more week, because I think he would have made it, but Chizzy didn't make it, unfortunately, and Phil did make the finals.
Well, with 15 weeks of Premier League action, from Newcastle to the Netherlands, from Exeter to Aberdeen, the stage was truly set for what was going to be a spectacular night of darts at the O2 in London, and Dan was there to report on the playoffs.
The O2 in London, home to the richest night in darts history. £530,000 up for grabs on Premier League finals night, and $250,000 going to the winner. The 4 men competing, the top 3 in the world, Michael van Gerwen, Gary Anderson and Peter Wright, as well as the sport's most successful player, Phil the Power Taylor.
I love it. Yeah, we love it.
This is my dream, coming here the night.
If you love the darts, stand up.
Tonight, we've got 10,000 plus people having a party at a worldwide sporting event that is acknowledged as great sport all around the world. And that's a huge compliment to the players more than anybody else. I'm honoured to be part of it, and I can't wait to make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
In the first semi-final, Michael van Gerwen edges past Gary Anderson 10-7. In the second semi, Phil Taylor storms back from 4-0 down, but he can't get over the line, and Wright nicks it in the deciding leg. It is Michael van Gerwen against Peter Wright in the Premier League final. Wright's first final in this tournament. Van Gerwen's 5th in a row, and he's looking for title number 3.
The match goes all the way. Wright has a chance to win it, but misses 6 darts at doubles. And MVG forces a decider and hits a 12 darter to seal the win.
Michael, how did you come away with that win?
I ain't got a clue, mate. It's nice that things like that happen also to me. Normally, most of the time I'm the dominant player in the game, and Peter White missing 6 darts, it's like, yeah, it was Christmas for me. He was all over the place. He couldn't concentrate anymore, and then you need to step in and make sure he finishes the job.
Is it a psychological thing? Is that a mental thing that you had over Peter that won you that title?
Yeah, probably the mental thing, because he never beat me in a big final yet, and I hope that I can keep it that way for a long time.
Well, look, Michael, congratulations. Look, the rest of the world's media awaits.
Thank you.
In you go. Michael van Gerwen, Premier League champion for a 3rd time in one of the most incredible finals you will ever see.
Huge congratulations there to Michael van Gerwen, a very worthy winner on the night. What an epic atmosphere that was at the O2 in London. Well, make sure you join us after the break as we report on the Junior Darts Corporation UK Tour, and we also hear from James Wade ahead of the Dubai Darts Masters. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hello and welcome back to the Dart Show. It's that time of the month for Paul Nicholson to get himself back on the board for our monthly dart school.
We've shown you how to throw darts, and I'm betting you want to get better now. So, here's a couple of practice games to help you along with that. One of the best practice games really is around the clock. Start with the big singles, so big 1, big 2, big 3, and all the way around to 20. Then you graduate to hitting the small singles. So then you have to go to the doubles, again 1 to 20, and then we're looking at trebles, again 1 to 20. Let's play bingo, shall we? This is a great practice game that is favoured by a lot of the top professionals. In this box here, you've got 9 different sections, and they all have to have finishes in them, but the one in the middle has to have the hardest one. The object of the game, whether you play on your own or whether you play with someone else, is that you have to have 3 in a row vertically, horizontally or diagonally. It's up to you, but the middle one has got to be the hardest. If you're an expert, like some of us, start with 170 and see how you get on. Now that you know how these practice games work, it's up to you to hit the board and see what you can do. But what I will say is this: practice with a purpose, don't just throw.
Thanks for those top tips there, Paul. I'm sure that's going to help you guys out at home when you're practicing on your own. Now, it's not just the experienced players that can teach us a thing or two about darts, because the Junior Darts Corporation and those involved in it are proving that they can too, as they compete in a series of events around the UK. Now, we headed to the 2nd JDC event in Derby to meet some of those rising stars. The Junior Darts Corporation was started by established pro Steve Brown and gives children the opportunity to develop in darts academies and compete on the UK Tour.
I started JDC back in 2010. My son wanted to play darts, and I wasn't keen on him going into like a pub environment. So I sort of built a safe environment for him and his mates to go and play in my dad's function room at his pub, and sort of blossomed from there, really.
We've grown exponentially over the last sort of 2 years since the Junior Darts Corporation was created. The tour has got bigger, things matter more, there's so much more on offer for these children, massive opportunities for them to grow in the sport.
So I've got to pinch myself at times. I've just come out from Australia, I was promoting the JDC over there, so I think we're looking at launching 30 academies in Australia this year. We've got interest from Germany, Dubai, North America. Testament to what the good work the PDC have done, really.
Playing on this UK tour gives the children the chance to reach the championship final at Ali Pali in December. It was James Beaton, aged just 13, who won the first spot at the playoffs in February's Event 1.
Darts is really my life now. I mean, it turned into a bit of a hobby, and now it's something I want to do professionally. And JDC has been very important. It's playing against people your own age. I'm used to playing against the men. I thought I'd come down and play against people my own age and have a go, and turned out I'm probably one of the best.
We saw some great talent from the youngsters. Jared Cole and Tavis Studney made it through to the final. It was a terrific performance that saw some impressive scoring.
140.
Cole clinched the title with a 5-1 win.
Game, stop, hammer up. Jared Cole
As well as taking home the £150 first prize, Cole has become a JDC All-Star, which means he will face Michael van Gerwen later this year.
I'm feeling excellent at the moment, absolutely buzzing. It was a good game and very happy to win it.
Jared Cole, certainly a rising star of the future, and has got a great chance as well as competing in the JDC Championship final at Ali Pali in December. Now, the pathway and the opportunity to be able to play darts at a young age is just so important for the up-and-coming talent, isn't it?
It's monstrous because these kids have actually got somewhere to go and play, and you've got the development tour on the PDC circuit now as well, and you need to be able to feed that system with something. What Steve Brown has done with the JDC is nothing short of revolutionary. It's been absolutely amazing for the game.
It's obviously important to be able to have those pathways, as you said, for players to go on and eventually reach the elite. But it's not just about that, it's about getting young people playing darts and enjoying it. And that's what these academies and the JDC do so well. Every kid that goes there throws the same number of darts as every other, so you're not going there losing in the first round of a knockout tournament and then sat around watching everybody else play. So everybody has the chance to be as good as they can be, and I think that's, you know, that's a vital part of it.
Well, another player that was a rising star is James Wade. Now, he took a little bit of time out from his busy darts calendar, and we spent a day with him on a track day with his favourite sport, cars. 2017 marks 10 years since James Wade made his big breakthrough by winning the World Match Play in Blackpool. The machine has won both the World Grand Prix and UK Open twice and triumphed in the Premier League and the Masters, but it certainly hasn't always had a smooth journey. The former mechanic had some time away from the hockey this month, driving off-road.
I've never done off-roading. It should be fun. Like I say, I've never been involved in anything like this before. Probably involves some kind of skill, which I probably haven't got, and just hope I don't dent the car. He's doing all the braking and accelerating for me, and I'm doing a bit of steering. 10 to 2, 10 to 2, 10 to 2.
So if you put it in drive,
yes, boss,
and then just come off the pedals, just give it a tiny bit of power. The car basically walk itself, so you don't need any brakes or anything.
So I touch brakes now?
No, don't worry about it.
Just this speed, yeah?
The world number 6 is having a bit of a tough time at the moment and hasn't won a televised title since 2014.
Not too bad the form of my game, but you know, it's not where it should be, and it's not where I want to be. It's quite strange actually. I'm practicing at the moment and it's still not going right, but it's feeling much better. It should be all right. Fingers crossed in the next couple of months. How much fun is that?
So it's going to feel really weird, this. Now, and you can see we're at sort of 19-20%.
Yeah.
Now stay at full right hand lock, and this is where it gets really weird. I want you to drive up towards the mirror, okay? So keep it going, a little bit further, keep it, stop there. Good, and you see how it's just pulled you up. Start to head forward, and this wheel is completely off the ground. Over to the left a bit. I say give it a bit of power. Over to the left, a bit more power. Good, now you'll feel it come back down.
Being asked to be an ambassador for bipolar, it was a strange feeling, you know, because I never thought I'd be asked to do something like that. But since then, I've helped people that have got bipolar that I know, or I've spoke to strangers about it. You know, it's if you can share a problem or talk through your experience, and then they can talk through their experiences, and then you can come up with a good answer sometimes, you know. And it's just a nice thing to be able to do.
This is the equivalent of going up a very, very, very snowy or icy hill. You know, sometimes you've got to reposition and find a better way up.
He's hoping to turn a corner with a tournament he's won once before, the World Match Play.
World Match Play is my favourite tournament. I like the crowd. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's intimate. They're true fans that go there. It's quite weird that you normally avoid this. Yeah. This time of year I normally start to play better, so I need to because I'm defending 50 grand at the World Match Play. I'd like to pick up a TV title, you know, it's been such a long time. I'd like to just start playing how I play, you know. It's thereabouts, but there's something missing at the moment. I'm not quite sure what it is. Ciao. Over and out.
James is certainly on track to win another major. James Wade, an exceptionally consistent player.
Consistency really is what we associate with James Wade, because over the course of the last 10 years, he has maintained his position in that top 10 in the world. It's a remarkable thing to do. And there's only one other player who's done that, and that's Phil Taylor.
James has said in that bit there that he feels there's something missing. Now, he's judging himself by different standards. He's a 7-time major winner. If most other players had made the final of the Grand Slam last year and won a Euro Tour and put in some of the performances he had, they would be delighted. So, look, he says there's something missing. I think it will come back. I'm not sure when, but it won't be too long, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll soon see. Well, let's take a look at the world rankings then, because there's been a few changes at the top, hasn't there?
Yeah, you can see Phil Taylor continuing to slide down the rankings. That's inevitable with him not playing ranking tournaments. But the significant bit is that he's dropped below Mensur Suljovic. Now, Phil is Mensur's idol. He's a lot of darts players' idol. But I know how much it meant for Mensur to beat him at the European Championship last year. To actually be above him in the world rankings is absolutely enormous for Mensur and very well deserved.
And in the second half of those rankings, you can just see Terry Jenkins slipping down a bit now because he's not playing anything anymore, which is a real shame for the sport. What a great character. But you can just see Cristo Reyes going one by one, just chipping away at things. And I think if he has a really good end to the year, he could find himself near that number 20 spot or getting closer to the top 16, which is great for Spanish darts.
Well, the darts calendar is certainly not slowing down anytime soon. Here's what's on the way over the next month. 32 nations do battle in Frankfurt at the Betway World Cup of Darts. And the European Tour continues in Hamburg and Vienna. So guys, what are you most looking forward to over the next month?
I say the same every month. It's the Euro Tour. We've got 2 more events, Hamburg and Vienna. James Wade, of course, the defending champion in Hamburg. But I want to see Michael Smith. I want to see him really get going again. That victory in Gibraltar could be the platform upon he launches another assault on the Euro Tour. He won 3 of those titles in a calendar year, so maybe there's more in it.
I think the World Cup's going to be fascinating this year, not just because we have Brazil coming in and Latvia, a couple of new nations, which is great for the game. But it'd be interesting to see who gets to the latter stages. Will it be Australia, Belgium, Scotland, England, Wales? There's a lot of people who can genuinely threaten this tournament. So it'll be great to see who wins it this time.
Certainly will. Well, next month we're going to be filming a special edition to the Darts Show. We're going to be filming from the PDC Charity Fishing Championship, along with some very familiar faces from the world of darts. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.